I'm Jeff Philbin, and this is Dinner DeeAs, as all the cool kids are calling ideas for dinner these days. Today, an urban farmer puts her plow in park to stop in and share a recipe for a steak stir fry with a farm's worth of fresh veggies to bring flavor, texture, and nutrition. Joining me in the Dinner DeeAs kitchen today is a returning guest, Nicole Kubalins. She's brought veggies guaranteed fresh because they're straight from the farm where she works. She's a chef, she's an event coordinator, and she's also a social media manager at Meacham Urban Farms. As the name suggests, it's on what was once a vacant lot in Ybor City, now growing and selling dozens of varieties of organic vegetables, fruits, and herbs. And back with us again. Yes. Great to see you. So excited to be here today with you because Nicole is back to share a recipe she's described as an easy weeknight meal with a ton of fresh farm veggies. This is your steak and veggie stir fry.
Yep, yes it is.
Oh, I can't wait. So what do we need to do to get into this?
Okay, to get started, I always like to make the sauce first, the stir fry sauce. And I prefer to make it from scratch or, make it my own.
I love it.
And so what we have going into this is some soy sauce, some veggie stock. Here we have...
Now I gotta ask you, being the farmer that you are you making your own veggie stock?
Yes.
You are.
Usually.
So I got to ask the question for those that don't have a farm.
Yeah.
Is it okay to use their own, and just kind of get the store bought?
Yes.
You're okay with that?
Okay. Totally.
I got to ask. Because everyone wants to know that piece. You got all the access, so.
Well, absolutely. And stock is one of those things I've heard from chefs from many different backgrounds. Making your own stock, it will set, a good dish apart from a great dish. So it's always better to use homemade.
I love it. I love it.
When you can't,
all right.
Then store-bought. So stock, soy sauce here, toasted sesame oil, some local honey, sriracha, and rice wine vinegar, pinch of pepper flakes, freshly grated, harvested and grated ginger.
Okay.
Garlic cloves, and then cornstarch will go in.
I love it. All right, let's go add these all together then.
Pour in the
I'd help.
stock there.
Absolutely.
Get that going.
Now, you're making your own stock with vegetables that are at the farm. Was the ginger also from the farm?
It was, yes.
Wow. How cool is that? How many different vegetables right now do you have growing right now?
Right now we are in our full, or our main season.
Okay. And what is that main season?
So here in Central Florida, our main vegetable season is October through May.
Okay.
So a lot of people think that summertime is veggie time, but here the sun is too intense.
Okay.
And so that's actually our off season.
That's the off season.
So right now we have about 30 different types of fruits, vegetables, herbs, and flowers.
I love it. And the ginger that you just added, is that hard to grow at the farm?
No, we actually grow it in pots.
Okay.
And, anyone can grow ginger in pots. Just pulled it out yesterday and grated it up for this.
How cool is that? It's I just pulled it out yesterday. It's ready to go. What does that mean for you to be able to know exactly where your food is coming from?
Oh, it's everything. That's what actually got me into farming, because I was always into cooking my whole life.
Yeah.
And then when I worked for a farm-to-table restaurant in college, I was like, oh, I can grow my own food and cook it, and it's
so cool.
The best meals and most delicious meals ever. I was like, I can't do anything else.
That's so cool.
So that's why I'm here.
That's awesome. That's awesome. And what else do we need to add in there?
So this is cornstarch. So we can go ahead and dump it in now.
Okay.
And whisk it up, and then we will actually, before we put it into the veggies, we'll give it another quick whisk.
I love that. And that's going to help thicken it a little bit?
Yep, exactly. So when you cook it down, it'll thicken and be nice and saucy.
Very nice. Very nice. Now, we got to taste as we go along here. Got you a spoon here.
Thank you. You can already smell it.
You know what?
Tangy.
It does have that ginger punch.
And I prefer a lot of ginger, honestly, in like stir fries, because
Yeah.
it makes everything a lot more bright and fresh tasting.
I can totally taste that piece. That is killer. All right, so that's gonna be for later though.
Yes,
Okay.
yes. So we'll set this aside, and then we will get started on our mushrooms and onions.
I love it. What do we need to do then?
So this is already heated up, wonderful. So we'll just add a little bit of olive oil, and you can use vegetable oil or avocado oil.
Okay.
But I just always have olive oil. And then I like to add another splash of the toasted sesame just because I'm obsessed with the flavor.
Okay. And what does it give for you? Like you're saying you're obsessed with the flavor. So it's someone at home that might not have worked with sesame oil. You know, walk me through a little bit of those flavors.
I just think it's super like nutty and savory. I don't know, it's like whenever I smell sesame oil, I'm like, I have to eat whatever that is.
You have to use it, and you have to do this too, folks, because Nicole's recipe for her steak and veggie stir fry is at dinnerdeas.com. We have it ready to print. Just scan the QR code to find us. It's in the corner of the screen, and how you use it is simple. Just open the regular camera app on your phone as if you're about to take a photo, and if you point at the TV, a link will pop up on your phone, which you can press to get right to us. Okay, so looks like you've added in some vegetables. So what do we got here?
Here is just some diced onion and some sliced up mushrooms.
Very nice.
So we'll get this going and then add in the other veggies soon once this gets cooked down.
Nice. So you're just trying to cook out some of the moisture that's in the mushrooms there? Mm-hmm. Okay.
Yeah, and just get it like them nice and tender with the onions too.
I love it. Well, we cooked down our shrooms. We're taking a break. When we come back, Nicole shares some more food from the farm and how to add it to the stir fry ahead on Dinner Deas. Welcome back to Dinner Deas. Today we're working with our wok to serve up a stir fry with our guest, Nicole Kubelins from Meacham Urban Farms. She's literally pulled the veggies out of the dirt over in Ybor City and brought them to us to share her recipe for a quick and easy weeknight dinner of a steak and veggie stir fry. Before the break, we made a sauce combining soy sauce, veggie stock, sesame oil, rice vinegar, garlic, ginger, sriracha, and honey, adding a little bit of cornstarch to thicken that, and put that to one side while we start our stir fry, using olive oil and sesame oil together, then adding mushrooms and onions and letting them cook down until the water was released from the shrooms. And now the colors have changed a little bit too on our onions. So how do you know this is ready?
You can tell because the mushrooms are soft and the onions are beginning to be translucent.
Cool.
And not much moisture in the bottom of the pan, but enough to cook some veggies in.
I absolutely love it. So what's next?
I think we have the rice next because we got this water boiling.
Perfect.
So if you would like to actually add a couple dashes of salt in there.
Very good.
I like to add a little bit.
Okay.
Perfect. Yep. And get that going with the rice.
Now, what type of rice do you like for this dish?
It's basmati.
Basmati rice. Okay.
Yep. But I'm also not picky.
Okay.
So.
All right.
But we'll bring this back to a boil.
Very nice.
And then put it on simmer with the lid on. So that will cook for 12, 15 minutes.
Very good.
And then I think it's time to add in some veggies here.
I love it.
So all of these came from the farm.
Okay.
That's why I chose this dish because we can pretty much use whatever we have.
Like, how fresh is this then?
I pulled these carrots last night.
Really?
And, yeah.
That's so cool. That is so cool.
And these also came, earlier in the week. So.
How do you know when they're ready to be harvested? What are you looking for? How does that all go?
Well, it depends on the crop. Like some things just we know about how many days it takes between planting and harvesting. But then also a lot of that can change dependent on hurricanes or freezes and things like that.
Okay.
So you have to go out in the field and also test it.
So for someone at home, like how long would these carrots have been in the ground for then?
The carrots, these are about 80 days.
80 days.
So we direct seed them into the soil, and then 80 days you get a full carrot. And then cauliflower, a bit longer. Turnips, we cut the tops off before coming here, but they're about 45 days.
45 days.
Yeah,
okay.
to get a nice turnip.
Very cool.
Yeah. So I'm going to go ahead and throw the carrots in, actually all of this.
All the carrots, all right.
Yep.
We're eating our veggies.
Yeah, exactly. I usually try to cook everything that I cut up, just so leftovers are a good thing. When we're busy on the farm and need a nice lunch, you just throw it in.
Now, I gotta ask you, like, can you taste the difference between having, vegetables from the farm to what you might be getting at a grocery store?
Yeah, absolutely.
You really can.
Yep. Because, well, you'll be the judge. I'll ask you the same thing when we sit down and eat this. But like the carrots, they're just much, much sweeter being fresh.
Yeah.
Compared to sometimes in the store, they're kind of bitter and don't have much flavor. But these are like nice and sweet, super crispy. The cauliflower as well, like doesn't have any bitterness to it.
Okay.
Just like a nice, smooth flavor.
Now, do you have to choose what type of carrots to add into this dish, or what you even just grow at the farm?
It's just what we grow.
Okay.
So these are a ya-ya variety, but specifically with stir fry, it's one of my go-to dinner ideas because whatever we have, I cook it. Like sometimes we have broccoli, sometimes zucchini, sweet potatoes, whatever. Just goes in, simple sauce, rice, and it's good.
I love it because to make this for your dinner tonight, and you don't need to plant, grow, and harvest your own veggies like Farmer Nicole here did. You could just buy them from the farm or your nearest grocery store and get her recipe from dinnerdeas.com. We have the ingredients and the amounts ready to print. And if you just want to read along on your phone, like looking at lyrics on Spotify, scan the QR code we have in the corner to find us. All right, so while these veggies kind of cook a little bit more, what do we need to do next?
We're gonna get this steak cooked in. I'm gonna put this over here. And so I already sliced up some of it. This is a flank steak from Providence Cattle Beef.
Nice, good people.
Yeah, absolutely. Local beef company. And so you want to slice it super thin and against the grain. So you can see that they're running this way. You go through. And for the first slices, I had put it in the freezer to make it a little bit easier.
Why putting them in the freezer?
So you just need to put it in the freezer like 10-15 minutes. You're not trying to like freeze it, but it kind of hardens it, and so it's easier to cut through.
Okay, so it really helps the knife because once it starts to kind of thaw out, then it becomes a little bit softer and might be a little bit more like you're stretching and tearing versus having a nice clean cut.
Exactly.
Okay.
But I think this whole flank was about 1.5 pounds.
Okay.
So depends on your protein diet if we want to eat all this or not. But maybe this is good enough for now.
Very good.
And then get that skillet heated up.
Now you like to use avocado oil here.
Yes, it has a higher smoke point, so you can get the pan nice and hot without the oil, burning or smoking up your kitchen.
I love it.
And you want to do like single layer.
Okay. Now you like to do a single layer. Why? Instead of just dumping them all straight into a pan.
You don't want to overcrowd it because you kind of want to get a sear on there.
Okay. Very good.
Yeah.
And can I help you with a little bit of salt and pepper?
Oh, absolutely.
Okay. And how long will these take per side?
About a minute.
Okay.
And maybe we
So it's really quick.
Yeah, super quick.
Okay, because while the steak sears, we're taking a break. When we come back, why this is the perfect meal for the Popeye in your life as spinach joins the party, and we finish up this farm fresh dish. Ahead on Dinner DeeAs. Welcome back to Dinner DeeAs. We're making the most of food fresh from the farm today. Meacham Urban Farm in Ybor City, where not only our ingredients came from, but also our guests. Nicole Kubelins. She's their chef and is sharing a recipe for a steak and veggie stir fry, perfect for the weeknight dinner. Before the break, we got our rice going, adding rinsed basmati rice to salted water and simmering it with a lid on while we got our other veggies into the wok. Local carrots, cauliflower, and turnips, which we let cook, then got a skillet heated with avocado oil to cook up our thinly sliced steak strips, which you've already pulled and let that be because we still got to work with a little bit more within this wok.
Yes.
So what's next?
Next, we are going to get our stir fry sauce in there. So get the veggies nice and coated. I'm whisking this again to mix up that cornstarch.
We did that earlier, but all those flavors just now marinating so beautifully together.
Exactly. So we're actually turning the stove to high.
Okay.
And then I'm just gonna pour this in there.
And what are you looking for here?
You want to return it to a boil. So yeah, mix it all around, make sure all the veggies are in that sauce, and then you want it bubbling.
Okay.
So you are looking for those bubbles. You can already smell it.
It's the ginger. You get that little, like, oh.
It smells so
like
good.
there's certain ingredients that just kind of get you and you're like, just excited. Like ginger is one of those that just excites me.
The ginger plus the toasted sesame
Come
oil.
on now.
Yeah, you
Come
can't
on
go
now.
wrong.
Oh.
That's looking good. I'm thinking we can go ahead and add in the steak too.
Okay.
Because I cooked this to like a, medium rare.
Okay.
And so that can just go in there, get a little marination. And then all we have left after that, we still need to let the sauce thicken a little bit, but we'll add in spinach because always have to have them greens.
You gotta have those greens, and you also need to make this for your dinner. Grab the recipe from our website, dinnerdeas.com. Just scan the QR code to find us and print it, or just read along from your phone. And it looks like we got one more final ingredient from the farm to add. So what do we got there?
Spinach. But again, with the stir fry, you can use pretty much whatever.
Okay.
But I chose spinach today. Sometimes it's bok choy, sometimes cabbage, sometimes kale. But this is nice and freshly harvested.
How cool is that? Like, you have such a freedom and the flexibility to add what you want. And like, for someone at home, like a parent right here, this is a great way to hide in some vegetables for their kids to just say, hey, look, you enjoyed that dish. You had no idea what else was in it.
Yeah, absolutely. And you can always like make it more meat heavy if you prefer, or like only veggies.
Or only veggies.
Yeah, chicken, tofu, like you can just, it's very versatile, and that's what I prefer, or that's what I like about it, and prefer in recipes.
I love it. And as that nice stir-fry sauce thickens a little bit, it still has all that moisture to help wilt this spinach down a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
Oh.
And I like a lot of spinach.
I need to. And like, when you're cooking with spinach, it's almost like you need to have extra.
Oh, absolutely.
Because once it wilts down, you're like, that was it? Like,
Yeah.
that's it?
For sure. You're like, no way we'll eat all of this.
Yeah.
And then it's like,
all of a sudden,
oh.
it's all there. It's gone.
So, get your rice. How hungry are you?
You know, I want to taste it all, okay? This looks like it's been just absolutely just bringing so many different flavors and textures.
Mm-hmm. And all the variety of vegetables, like different nutrients and stuff with each of them. It's like, eat the rainbow. It's like, why not make it a stir fry? Stir fry rainbow.
Eat the rainbow? Why not make it a stir fry? That's in the line. Oh, I love that. Look at that.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, that right there is a plate and a half. Just for
Some
added
scallions.
measure right there. Come on now.
There
When we
you go.
come back, we literally get our food from farm to table as we take one last break. Then we give you our verdict on today's Dinner Diaz. Welcome back to Dinner DeeAs. We're eating fresh right from the farm today, thanks to Nicole Kubelins. She's here with an idea for dinner with the ingredients that she's grown at Meacham Urban Farm, where she's their chef, event coordinator, and social media manager. She's joined us to share how she does a steak and veggie stir fry, which looks absolutely fantastic. We ready to eat?
Thank you. Yes, let's dig in.
Now, with all these vegetables and the steak, like, where's your fork going for first?
I think the steak.
You're going steak, okay.
Yeah.
I'm going steak, and I'm going carrot.
Nice and gingery, right?
It's that punch of the ginger that just gets me, and I love it. You're absolutely right. That nice, beautiful stir-fry sauce.
The turnips are, I think, something that people don't eat often.
Totally.
And so it's like a different thing. And so I like that it's just a unique flavor in a dish that is very common. But you can't go wrong with the carrots either, or cauliflower.
I love that. It's that natural sweetness behind it. That was a really, really good bite. And being able to taste what you might get at a grocery store to what you just pulled in literally yesterday for this.
Yeah, what do you think?
There's a difference. There's absolutely a difference. And I think that that's a beautiful thing to just celebrate where your food comes from.
Absolutely.
So, thanks again to Chef Nicole Kubelins. Head to dinnerdeas.com for a link to Meacham Urban Farm with details on their farm store where you can get the exact same ingredients and know where they're coming from that we've been cooking with today. Plus the recipe for this stir fry, which is out of this world. I'm Jeff Philbin. Thanks for watching, and see you next time for more ideas for dinner, or as we call them, Dinner DeeAs.